Okay, good morning, bonjour. I have the pleasure to share the stage with Frank, that finally I meet in person today. Nice to meet you. Frank Belmont is responsible in charge of ISG and construction in AccorInvest. To better understand the context he's going to work with and his passion, I think it's important we understand also what is AccorInvest. AccorInvest is both owner and operator. Very impressive portfolio, more than 600 hotels across Europe in budget and mid-scale hotels. That means that they have around 104,000 rooms and 25 employees. And 25,000, sorry. I have the K in my mind, but I didn't say. But anyway. They have, with the years, really engaged on sustainable hospitality. And here he wants to show us his new concept, which is positive hospitality. So please, Frank.
One idea. I have nothing to sell but a wish, or maybe what could become a dream. I've been impressed today by everything I saw. All these presentations is clearly demonstrating, clearly showing the way that we're putting sustainability in the heart of our business. Reducing our carbon footprint, doing or building, designing green buildings is clearly showing the way. This is what I call responsible or sustainable hospitality. I would like to go a little bit further, and I would like to walk you through my dream to the future of hospitality, which could be positive hospitality. But to start with, let's start with a building. What is a hotel? What's a hotel? What do we see beyond the building? Of course, it's a place to rest, it's a place to sleep, it's a place to drink, it's a place to eat. It's an economic activity. We make business. We sell rooms, we sell breakfast, we sell events. For some of us, it's even an investment. It's one line. Asset value, CapEx, tons of financial KPIs, some ESG KPIs, but it's figures. For some of us, it's a place of memories. For me, for instance, this lobby of this Sofitel in Paris, more than 20 years ago, where I did my first interviews before I joined Accor. It's a place that changes lives. It's this place where maybe somebody had his first job. And it's also a place connected to its territory, connected to its surroundings, to its local communities. Do we know other places like these? I mean, do we know other buildings with all this? Hospitals, schools, office buildings, jails? No. But what makes this so unique? What makes this thing, this building, so unique? And a hotel is not just a building. It's a vibrant, living space in its ecosystem. So what makes it so unique? What makes it so unique is passion. It's the passion the people have to make it so unique and to push things. It's the passion to run the business, its activity. We are all entrepreneurs. It's the passion to take action, to make things different. We're all managers. It's the passion to welcome guests. We're all hôteliers. For me, this is impossible to say in English. Nous sommes tous des hôteliers. And it's the passion to connect with local communities, being an employer, for instance. So it's all this which makes this building unique. Positive hospitality is about using this passion to push boundaries and to create a more sustainable model. in hospitality. Positive hospitality is about caring. In Barcelona, for instance, there is a strong migration pressure. A lot of migrants come in, and there are young guys, minor, no family, absolutely unaccompanied. In this hotel, we give them a chance. They are below 18, and they get not only education, but they get a job. Positive hospitality is also about daring. This hotel, which opened Mercure Paris Butte Montmartre, opened just before the Olympics in Paris. That was a small, tiny ibis. And we have proven in this hotel that we can reuse, recycle 80% in waste of construction rubble. We have used principles of circular economy, and for the next renovation in 10 or 15 years, we will almost use everything. Positive hospitality is also about empowering. This Novotel Cambridge North. For the second year in a row, we run ESG awards amongst our hotels. Each hotel can participate and give its ideas. And there's a jury. You participated last year. This hotel has never won, yet. But still, with perseverance, with courage, this GM, he always comes with new ideas because he's empowered, because he has the passion. So positive hospitality is also about making hotels part of thriving communities anywhere on the planet. So I had nothing to sell but this idea and this wish or dream. Our industry is beautiful. It's complicated. It's diverse. It's broken into small pieces. But still, my wish is that we, as leaders of this industry, show the way, leaving nobody behind, big or small, and embrace positive hospitality. So let's do it together. Thank you. I'll come closer.
Thank you, Frank. As you're very passionate about this idea, I think it would be great if you could extend more on this, what you explained, the lighthouse in the city. What is a hotel and what brings as a lighthouse in the city for the community?
Well, I think that we share a little bit the same ideas that was shown with Zoku. Don't know whether you remember, but we had met more than 10 years ago in Amsterdam. Yeah? The lighthouse is the city. This hotel is a vibe. It always lives, never closes. It's not an office building at night. It's closed. You see lights, but it's just burning energy for nothing. Hotel never stops, lives forever, and it has multi-purpose. It's the place where you go and you work. It's the place where local communities, we have hotels in Paris where we organize in the lobbies. Food producers come from around Paris and they sell. It's just like a market. Have tons of these examples. And it can be working, it can be sleeping, it can be resting, it can be tons of other things than what we traditionally call a hotel. And more than this, it's a place where people work, people learn, and lots of skills. You have management skills, you can have kitchen skills, you have serving skills. So it's all this, you have technical skills. So it's all this. So it's really this vibrant, dynamic, living space, which I call the lighthouse in the city.
Great. We already have a question. What is AccorInvest doing towards sustainability in operations?
We're doing good. We're saving energy. We're saving water. We have a carbon plan from 2026 to 2030 to get to our SBTi-approved target, halving our emissions on a 2019 baseline. We're having a lot of initiatives on food waste, for instance. We have a lot of initiatives. When we invest, we have developed our own internal scorecard, what we call SRI grid. And when we go in to investment committee, it's a must to improve this ESG score. And this is operations, because operations for us is and operations, and we own the buildings. So it's also, we improve our properties. So we have the target to certify all our hotels, Green Key 100%. BREEAM News, we're widely certifying also. So we do a lot. But we face a lot of challenges, mainly sort of resistance from clients sometimes, and the ability for technical staff to take the challenge, to understand. The issue is complex. I mean, calculating a carbon footprint, that's a complex thing, and you're putting pressure on people to save energy, but you must explain the full thing up to 2030 or 2050. So that's the main, one of the challenges.
And also, I think here what's interesting, you also mentioned in this initiative of positive hospitality is mainly the S of ISG.
Yes, because this question, and when I answered, we're doing good, I mean, we're doing, I would say like everybody. We're all, at the end of the day, it's money. If we save energy, we save money, and this is EBITDA, so everybody is happy. But our industry is a people industry. We don't run a hotel with nobody. We run a hotel with people. And we have this chance that the people working in the hotel can be from an engineer to people with less, I'm not saying skills, but another level of education. Because it still takes a lot of skills to be a waiter or to work in a kitchen. So we have this unique chance to have this industry where almost anybody, from any level, from anywhere, can make it through and can make a great career. So our impact, if we want to do something as an industry, it's really on the S, where we can be a game changer. It's on this S. It's this lighthouse, again in the city, as an employer, as this example in Barcelona, which is giving a chance to people who are completely out of employment. We have other examples in Paris or even here in the UK, where it's people who are in jail who work in hotels. So it's giving, and we have the chance to have this industry which enables us to do this.
Great. Here, very good. Is this just for Accor, or do you plan to share findings, knowledge, and experience through the vision?
So it's AccorInvest. So I share and I share a lot. And I think this is what we must do. I mean, sustainability, we will only win if we share. We will only win, we will only go through all this if we share our ideas. Of course, there is competition between us. Huh? Of course there is. We're in business. But still, my ideas on gaining energy can become yours, and your ideas can become mine. It's all about sharing. Circularity is, at the end of the day, it's sharing circularity. Waste is a resource, so it's not a one-player game.
Great. I see there are many questions queuing up, so we'll speed up. What challenges do you face embedding circularity in the refurbs and operations? Love this question. I'm a big fan of your circular room.
What challenges? Not that much. In refurbs, the main challenge is counting the quantity of waste, because that requires some consultant to go and say, this can be used like this can be used like this, and this you can recycle, this you can reuse. So it's more process, but you can, that's not complicated. You just need to organize this. In operations, In operations, I would say we all do. We all have circular economy practices. When this GM renovates this lobby and calls his friend GM, say, "Hey, I'm renovating my lobby. I have all these armchairs. Would you want any? Because I know that you will not have a capex for the next 5 years." Well, that's circular economy. When this maintenance manager calls his friend, say, "I'm changing my pump. Maybe it could be useful for you." That's circular economy. So it's there. The only thing we need to know is to encourage this or bring it to another level. And bringing it to another level would be that we, as an industry, create a circular platform. So it doesn't stay at the level of this GM to this GM between one brand or one owner, but ourselves. With two different companies, two different brands, would say, "I'm renovating this, maybe it's useful for you," and it's on the platform. And the other big challenge would be, as an industry, that our procurement platforms start embedding circular economy practices rather than imposing on us buying, which we do. And we use the platform of our hotel manager. You probably use yours as well. But we start implementing circular economy practices in the way we purchase goods. So this is, I would say, future challenges.
So here on the S, and also a bit further, how can head office encourage staff in the hotel to be empowered to look for and make sustainability improvements?
I would say the awards for us is a very good example because it's giving the opportunity to hotels to show what they have, what they can do. Some ideas are very good. Some ideas were really impressive. Things that, well, I would have wished to think at this, but some are at that level. So it's giving the chance to show what they are able to. I think that HQs could frame it a little bit. Some companies could say, "I want this as my sustainability challenge." It could be, for instance, fighting against, I don't know how you say in English, but people who don't read and write. We probably have many employees in the hotels which are just not even able to speak the language of the country they work in. So maybe it's encouraging this. Just we have initiatives in Paris, it's very small, but still, so fighting against, we're giving the ability to people to read and write. So it could be just a cause of one company, and it's framing it a bit. So this could be the idea. But I think that what I was saying, that all these guys, they are all in the hotels, they're all managers, entrepreneurs, hoteliers, they have everything which it takes. We just need to unlock it, just to give them the possibility, do it, go further, go beyond your walls, just you're an actor.
Are you measuring social value?
No.
Are you planning to measure it in the near future?
Yeah, yes, we're planning to. Yeah, of course we are. But let's measure other stuff first. No, we're in a complicated world. We're in a complicated world, and it's getting more and more complicated. And we're putting in place systems, we're putting tons of stuff, we have tons of data, and sometimes, we don't even know what to do with this data. We want the data so much that now we have just a pile, it's over the room. So we will need to measure, of course, social value. When I said no, we're thinking at what could be, we tried things. Huh? It's not really that obvious, but yes, of course, it should. It's a must.
In our conversations, what I found brilliant, Frank, is when you mentioned we have this 2050 challenge, net zero, and all this data that's produced, and especially what my department is responsible for, all the engineering part, that we have very complicated systems, sensors, and et cetera, But the key is who is in the driver's seat in the hotel.
Yes, we're facing this challenge that we think that a hotel is like an airplane. Yeah, an airplane is a complicated thing. An airplane is complicated, supercomputer, sensors everywhere, very high maintenance. Before it flies, you have people checking. And a lot of people think a building is the same thing. You have a BMS, easy peasy, you don't do anything, and then it runs by itself. And you don't have to do anything for energy saving because the BMS, the computer, is going to run the thing. But what we forget is that the two pilots in front of the airplane are two super engineers. And the maintenance guy in a hotel, most of the time he's a handyman. So he doesn't have what it takes. I'm not saying in all hotels, but some hotels, he doesn't have what it takes to understand, one, the challenges, 2030, 2050, and to understand the complexity of all the systems which are in place. We have sensors in our hotels. I go on a computer, I see temperature. They do this also, but what it takes to understand the system, to pilot the system, to act on the BMS, and to drive carbon, and to have actions which are carbon-driven, we're not there yet. And one of the main challenges is to, I think, upskill all this population, all these guys, so that they can become pilots of the plane, and they can act on the computer, rather than today looking at the computer drifting completely away. So I think that this could be also a challenge beyond circularity, which is what do we do as an industry to put these guys, the technical guys, as part of the challenge.
I love because he did a comparison. In France, you have école de chef de cuisine to work in a hotel. Why not engineers? Training for engineers to be able to manage the airplane. So it's great. So we have another one. Jonathan Hubbard talked about stranded assets. How do you ensure that you have strategies in place to avoid owning them?
But I would say that we have an ESG scorecard. We know each asset stranding year when it's going to be stranded. And I'm not sure it's bad to own a stranded asset. I would say the strategy would be how you unstrand it or destrand it, however you say. And what strategy and what CapEx you put in place to destrand it. This is what we're looking at. So the KPI is not stranded, go to the bin. The strategy is more in an asset plan, what is the future of this asset? Has it reached its value maturity? And what can we do with it? And if it's stranded, what do we do to destrand it? And we carry out studies with consultants to understand what CapEx measures, what would be the ROI, to push this stranding year as far as possible. We've studied on the portfolio how much it would take, so I'm not going to give the figure, how much it would take to push back the stranded years as far as possible to be in 2030 safe with an almost destranded portfolio.
Most banks would applaud, but then ask, how does positive hospitality improve the sustainability of EBITDA, here we are, and then financial value to a hotel?
Well, I would say to the banker, sometimes it costs nothing to start with. There's no cost. So why not doing it? Why being shy? You know? Why just not pushing the idea? I mean, of course it costs a little bit for this Mercure in Paris, but at least we have brand new asset. This one is destranded. I think stranding year is 2045, and it has all the excellent environmental certification, and it's circular, and everybody's happy, and it looks great. Future renovation is probably in 15 or 20 years. It's been designed so well. So that costs a little bit more maybe than doing normal stuff. But this is the way it should be done. So the S thing, it has no cost. So we were talking about measuring the social impact. Of course, we need to measure, but I'm deeply convinced that if we would be making a mistake not doing it. Just the general stuff. Happy staff, happy guests. And it's just, we have this industry, we have this so beautiful, powerful industry. So why talking about EBITDA all the time? Yeah, of course we must. Yeah, but on this, I wouldn't. No cost, only positive impact.
Good. Any tips for persuading designers for refurbishment to reuse materials more?
Put it in their contract. Start with.
Good point. I agree. But here, extending, you had the KPIs for circularity.
Yes.
I think is very interesting, actually, what you came up with this exercise.
Yeah, measure it. Measure it. Yeah, we like KPIs. Measure it. We did. We developed, for our eco brands and mid-scale brands, we developed circular bedrooms, and we measured circularity. You can measure. You put a process in place, and you say, when I'm going to build this room, how much of this, in weight, will I be able to reuse or recycle in the next renovation? And this gives you a score. If we adopt altogether one method, this could be one KPI, and you put this in the contract saying, Mr. the designer, love what you're doing, but circularity should be, your room should be 70% circular, and this is what it means.
Great. Do you envisage to implement digital transformation throughout your value chain to become more sustainable, helping your group to attain net zero?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're implementing, we have implemented, we're at the end of implementing it actually, a tool that we call Recap, which is basically our energy management tool. So it's energy, water, carbon scope 1 and 2, and waste in the hotels. So this is everything which is uploaded on this platform. This is one aspect of this tool, and the other aspect is IoTs. So it's a little bit like the plane. Yeah? So you have some sensors, or like a human body. You have the blood pressure, temperature, and all these main KPIs of the hotel that anyone can access online. So the portfolio manager, the asset manager, the GM, the maintenance engineer. And this we have put alerts on, saying, hey, it's too hot in the hotel, you have a leak, you have your cold room is temperature is drifting. So this helps a lot in the energy saving. It also helps a lot in benchmarking hotels and seeing where they are on their targets. But this IoT part is really interesting. So,
great.
yeah.
So I already see Mark. So thank you very much.
Thank you.